Hi, everybody. Today is February 15th, 2021. Wanted to send you a short message to sort of get us up to speed for this week. We're now at about the 1/4 point in our classwork. So we're about halfway or a little bit more than halfway to our midterm, which is really exciting because after midterm comes spring break. So I just wanted to go through and talk about my classes a little bit together, but also individually. In thermodynamics, we have completed the first 2 homework assignments and the first quiz. And in a perfect world, you should now be working on the material for Chapter 3, which is all available to you. Because some of you have expressed to me that you don't have a book that has the correct problem set in it, specifically that some of you have the problem sets that are only in SI units. I have included the US problems, the US homework problems, and I'll do that for the remainder of the course so that if you don't have the book that has that in there, don't worry about it. You're still going to be fine. So that homework assignment will be due in a couple of days. And if currently you are working on it, or if you're even still working on the quiz, that came before this, you're still in pretty good shape. I'm going to save engineering surveying for last because there's a couple things I specifically wanted to talk about that. For statics, we'll be meeting today for the full hour. I'm actually going to be a little bit late. We'll start at about 1:10 and I'll send you an email to that effect. But I'll see you this afternoon. We'll discuss where we are. But basically, we've gone through Chapter 1, which was basically a unit review. Chapter 2, we've completed the first quiz. And similarly to thermodynamics, we should be working on the homework for Chapter 3, which will be due on February 17th. Now, once again, if you are not up to complete speed, when you turn your homework in or your quizzes in, you'll still be eligible for full credit. I don't take any credit off. The only thing I want you to know is that if you get too far behind, it's going to be problematic for you to get the midterm done at the time it needs to be done, which is by March 5th. And I'll spend a minute or two talking about that at the end of this lecture. So here in fluid dynamics, we have gone through the math concepts pretest, and we have done the homework for Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, and we have completed the quiz for Chapters 1 and 2. And in fluids, we are now working on what I've got termed as the second half, the material for the midterm exam. So we're in Chapter 3. Now in fluids, the entire textbook is put up on the Facebook or our Moodle page. So there's no additional textbook that you'll need. The property tables, everything else is available to you on the page. The next assignment that we will have is the homework for Chapter 3, which will be due on February 19th. So in other words, at the end of this week. And I think everybody's progress is pretty good. The final class before I talk about surveying is mechanics of materials. We did a review assignment on method of joints and method of sections. We did a homework for Chapter 1, a homework for Chapter 2, a quiz over all of that material. And we're now working on Chapter 3, which once again is due at the end of the week. Now, in all of these classes, if you need any help, I really hope that you will reach out to me. There are several of you that I've worked with a lot, and a few of you that I've worked with a little bit, and some people I haven't really heard from at all. So I just want to reiterate, I'm available to you anytime that you need my help. And if you text me especially, I can probably work with you pretty quickly and get you straightened away if you're working on your homework or something like that. Now, I want to take an extra couple of minutes to talk about surveying, because the surveying schedule is slightly different. So even though this webpage says engineering surveying, you'll see that we're talking about both engineering surveying and practical surveying. So what we have done is we've gone through our first lab day. The first segment, we had a homework assignment due on January 29th, which was different for engineering surveying and practical surveying. The other thing I want to bring to your attention is if you are in practical surveying, I do have copies of the textbook. This textbook is no longer in print, but if you want to borrow it from me, you are more than welcome to do so. There's also some copies available in the library, so just to let you know, those resources are available to you. We've gone through where we're currently finished or should be finished with the second segment, which is homework from Chapter 2 for engineering surveying and Chapter 14 for practical surveying. There are a couple of lectures that you should watch in order to get ready to do the homework, and you should be good to go. Now, the most important thing that I wanted to bring up for my surveyors, both classes, is that we're having a face-to-face lab day on this Friday, February 19th. We'll meet at 10, from 10 to 1 and 2 to 3:30, and we'll get 2 labs knocked out of the way, and that will be it before our midterm exam. Now, in surveying, we will have another homework assignment, which is segment 3. I don't have it posted yet. I need to get that unhidden at this point. And then before spring break, we'll have a 4th homework, and that will be it. Now, the thing that I want to talk to everybody about is our midterm exam, and every class will have a midterm exam. I guess it's important to note that surveying is the only class that doesn't have quizzes. That's why we have the labs instead. There's this practical aspect that we need to cover. But every class, surveying, mechanics of materials, fluids, thermo, and statics, all has a midterm exam. Now, our spring break begins on Saturday, March 6th. So our midterm exam has to be completed by Friday, March 5th. So what I'm going to do is I'll send out 4 times during the week. Each of them is a 2-hour block, and you could choose the time that you want to take your midterm exam. So it doesn't matter. You might have some people taking the midterm who are in mechanics of materials at the same time as somebody who's in surveying taking the exam, but you'll have 4 different choices throughout the week. The final choice will be Friday afternoon, March 5th, from 3 to 5 p.m. And I always do that as sort of like a bingo point, or, sort of like a Hail Mary, so that if you haven't had a chance to take it all week, you have that exact final time to get it done. I have to have your I keep saying final, I mean midterm. I have to have your midterms in by 5 p.m. on March 5th, because I have to get them graded and get your midterm grades entered, so I can send out progress reports. Now, and I will be sending out the times for those midterm exams, not this week, but next week. I will get those taken care of so that you'll have some choices. And then if something just really doesn't work for you, we can schedule an individual time. The other piece is, if you wish and you're here, you can take it with me face-to-face during those times, or we can do it by Zoom. But either way, I'll proctor you. I don't really think I have anybody this semester that has an unusual proctoring situation. I have in the past, and I can arrange for someone else to proctor at your location if that becomes an issue. But me proctoring by Zoom is probably the easiest thing to do. All right, so that's what we have going on right now. Once we get to midterm, I'll grade your midterm exams, and I'll enter your midterm grades. Those are not a permanent grade. They're just to show you where you are. I also have a little bit of inconsistencies with the Moodle gradebook. So if the Moodle gradebook doesn't reflect to you an accurate assessment of your grade, you are always welcome to send me an email, and I will send you exactly what your grade is any moment of any day. Now, the week between, well, it's actually longer than a week because they count both weekends, but the week between Saturday, March 6th and Sunday, March 14th is our spring break, so I will not be assigning any new material. You may use that to catch up or to get ahead if you want, but there's no obligation to you. Schedule's built without that week involved. So, having said all that, most of you are doing a really good job, and you're either caught up or nearly caught up. If there are any problems, and you are not turning in work or you haven't contacted me, I've reached out to you via email to let you know that I'd like some more interaction. And some of you have gotten back to me. Probably next week or the week after, or certainly at the midterm, I will be sending out help alerts or early alerts for any of you who've not been turning in work or interacting with me. So please keep that in mind. But like I said, the majority of you are doing super, and I know where you are, and it's all good. So that's it for today. Surveyors, I'll see you Friday. Everyone else, including surveyors, if you need help, please email me or send me a text. And my phone number is 307-272-1833. And I am always here to help. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.